Alright, so the news for today. Shall we get started? So, a little bit happened. Not an insanely busy week, but a bit decent enough one. So, let's just get into it. Some of them are a bit smaller, so yeah. This will be the news for the 11th of July. So, first up, we have Final Fantasy VII Remake team currently working remotely on Part 2. So, initially they were talking about how they were still trying to get the conceptual stuff. They hadn't jumped into the full development of it, but now it sounds like they are working on it. But they will be doing it remotely, which is fine. I mean, we were kind of going to expect that anyway. So, yeah. Oh well. Might just take a little bit longer for the initial, which, I mean, the first one took us so long anyway, but they have groundwork now. Next up, Monster Rancher 2 announced for Switch, iOS, and Android for Japan. So I don't know if it's been localized and will make it over here. I don't think this game was ever properly localized, but I might be wrong. I don't know the Monster Rancher series that well, but yeah. One of the big things about this game is how it worked was you scanned discs. One thing I did read that apparently, because that's how the old system works, is there's just some website repository, and you give them information, like you like, here's the CD, and then it generates some code. Like it just makes a monster for you, rather than how the old one used to actually just use the information on the disc. That's cool. Sinnoh Alice is out. Just to remind people, Sinnoh Alice came to the West. We can now play it. I like it. I haven't played an insane amount of it. It's very gacha. It's just very gacha RPG. But yeah, we have a new character we can play as, the Little Mermaid, and you can get a Crusher version of Snow White. So if you don't know, these are based on fairy tales, but I think it's the next content, the content drop after will have Nier stuff. So if you're excited for Nier content, Sinnoh Alice will have that in the new gacha roll. So you might want to start playing now. So if you want to save up your currency, so you can buy all the Nier stuff. But yeah, I got Crusher. I haven't got Mermaid yet, but we'll see. Hopefully she's good. Next up, forgot about this. So I don't know if did I talk about this on Twitter? I don't know if I talked about this on Twitter. So they showed off a screenshot for the new Monster Hunter movie. I am not looking forward to this movie. I feel like it's going to be a disaster. Made by the Resident Evil people. Those movies were just weird, cheesy disasters that don't resemble Resident Evil. But at least this is an action game that they're trying to slap action on. I still just don't think this is a good fit, and I think it's weird. But Mila Jovovich's favorite weapon is the dual blades, apparently. Whoa, crazy. Oh man, I care. I think the fact that they're making her use these is just because it's the easiest weapon to have action stuff happening. Like if you ever watched the dual blades in Monster Hunter, it's not as methodical as some of the other weapons. It is like you put yourself into attack stances, and when you attack, you'll just go whoop 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 on the spot. So they could just do whatever they want with those weapons. Like it's the easy, flashy weapon. Like a katana means that they need to have stances. If it has a hammer, it's going to be deliberate and stuff like that. If it's the greatsword, it's very slow. Like all these things. Like this is the one where they can just do whatever they want, because it's just, you can easily just perform the dual blade motions in real life. But yeah, whatever. I still am not excited for this movie. I'm really hesitant to see what will come out about it, but who knows? I might be pleasantly surprised, but I doubt it. Earth Defense Force. So, EDF, instead of announcing a new game, they already did actually announce a new one. and it looks just a little bit better. Like, the backgrounds look better, but it looks basically the same as EDF. Whereas this was announced, which is World Brothers, is interesting because it is a pixely sort of cubey voxel looking game. I wasn't expecting this. So this is a spin-off where you have character classes unlockable as units, and you can hot swap them, kind of like a gacha almost. But it looked interesting. There is a trailer out there if you wanted to go watch the trailer. Basically just EDF, but with this art style. Microsoft reportedly led against publishers charging for Xbox Series X upgrades. So apparently Microsoft, similar to how they were trying to, like, both Xbox and Sony were avoiding having people pay for upgrades built into, if you have the PlayStation Pro game or the Xbox One X. The Series X sounds like you own the previous one, they're not going to try and charge you for the upgraded version. Don't know how this will play out. That's a pretty big thing to do. Or I might be misunderstanding, and it might be charging a little bit more for the two games standing next to each other. Oh, I have to take a sip of water. Thanks, Sander. I'm actually running very low on water, so you guys can't redeem that too much. Otherwise, I'm going to have to disappear to go get water to do that. Water does help me get through the news, though. Thank you, Xander. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Like, they'll have Microsoft are in control of that, but at the end of the day, publishers try and do what they can. More River City Girls. So the Way Forward announced this, I think. Yeah, so it's like we will see more River. I think I actually covered this in the last news, but I'm cool with that. I'm ready for more River City Girls. I haven't played the first one, but the first one got so much accolades, it might make me force me to actually play it. Might be able to play it on stream sometime. So yeah, we already talked about Monster Rancher, but they've shown off some of the screenshots, so you can see what sort of how it converted from the previous to the new one. So it looks like a mobile game, sort of with the UI on the side, but it looks like old Monster Rancher. Monster Rancher? Yeah. It said Monster Farm, and I didn't realize that's what they call it in Japanese. But yeah. Again, if you're excited, you could try and get that on some of the Japanese app stores and stuff like that, but we'll probably all be in Japanese. Nintendo asked to comment on its next console at a shareholder meeting. So this is a big write-up. There's like a bit of a speculative stuff on this, but we will see. We'll see. Like they're trying to get answers out of Nintendo in terms of what their plans are for hardware and stuff like right now, which, I mean, that's always weird with Nintendo because Nintendo are always trying to break molds, not trying to push the technological envelope in terms of power. So, yep, we might hear stuff in the future, we might not, who knows. Yeah. Alright. This is a weird one. I think I've got more news on Paper Mario, but you can't earn XP from battles in Origami King, which de-incentivizes you from doing battles, doing unnecessary battles. You're just going to avoid fights. I don't really understand what they're doing. I don't know if it's to get coins, to get items. Like, do you not level? Is it no longer an RPG? Like, I don't know what they're doing with this game. It's doing all the things that make me not want to play it, unfortunately. Like, it looks so beautiful and interesting and fun, but it's like the first one. It can be flashy for as much as it is. If it's not enjoyable to play, I'm not going to play it. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Zoid's Wild Blast Unleashed will bring the King of Blast westward October. So I like Zoids. I like old Zoids a lot. I'm not really sure I like the idea of new Zoids. Like you can sort of see here in this image. There's the Zoid here, which if you don't know what Zoids are, they're robotical animals. Basically, it's sort of Gunpla kits. You put them together and stuff. That's what the physical component is. But in the universe, they're ancient mechs that have been discovered from a bygone era sort of thing, and they're kind of worshipped and stuff like that. Kind of Horizon Zero Dawn-y, I think, much as I know about that game. But the weird thing I don't like about this one is they shrunk them down, and now you can see like there's a little kid riding on top. It used to be they used to have a cockpit, so you jumped in the cockpit because that's how they were made and designed. You piloted them essentially like a mech. But in this game, they are just, I don't know, you sit on them and you have powers and stuff. The combat actually looks good. Visually, it looks fun. I wanted to play it, and now it's coming to the West, so we'll see. I'm not big on the anime, but yeah, I'm excited for this. Hey NC, how you doing? Capcom says its game sales are rising 80%, 80% digital and rising, which means physical games are going away, which we're not really surprised about. But that's okay. As long as they support the systems and do the right thing, which they mostly have. Yeah, there's changes, NC. Yeah, if you wanted to play around with like the community points, there's like, you've also got some like stickers you can use, not stickers, emotes if you unlock them. There's bits, all these sorts of things. But yeah, that's what comes with a Phil and me setting up stuff. But yeah, that's good to hear with Capcom in terms of like them making more money. They've been doing the right things over the past few years. It's just they're fighting the game division is just atrocious. But people have been pretty happy with most things they've done over the past 5-10 years, or 5 years, I would say. But yeah. Deadly Premonition 2 frame rate could be fixed with a patch. So, if you didn't see this, so I talked about Deadly Premonition. It's a weird sort of cult game. It's just a very quirky, strange game. But this one looks like it was made on some crazy budgets. Some crazy budget. And if you've seen the trailer, I don't know if we can find the trailer. It's not really in here, but if you watch some of the like official video stuff that they put out, the frame rate is bad. Like Swery puts a video out. It's directly from the director of the game. He puts out a video and the frame rate is terrible. People chastise this on Twitter, on the internet. Lots of people talking about it. But seemingly they had a discussion. Like Swery said that he will talk to people. Yeah, constantly improving on updating it and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, this is a weird thing that it's shocking that it came out in the state it did, or these trailers are, but yeah, they probably should have waited till they had fixed some of this stuff. Yeah. Game development, that's how it is sometimes. Oh, here's some good news. Super Hot Mind Control Delete launches July 16th. Very soon. I didn't even click that the date was so soon. So it's like less than a week away. Very soon. So if you didn't play Super Hot, the original, or the VR, go play Super Hot. It's amazing. It's so fun. It's so good. So basically the premise of this game is when you're standing still, time is basically slow. As soon as you start moving your mouse or moving your character, time speeds up. So you want to stay still, assess what's happening around you, and then make your shots, do your things. Bullets travel in slow time, their bullets travel in slow time. It's very much just sort of like, in essence, it's the sort of matrixy bullet time stuff from the 90s, but turned into a full game. It has a really cool aesthetic, very puzzle orientated. It has just really just a fun story that's simple, and yeah, like it looks like they're going to be making a new game. I mean, let's play the trailer, shall we? Let's stop the BGM for a sec. Let's play the trailer. Oh no, it broke. Didn't realize it broke. Why does that one break all the time? Let's fix them. Watch it on YouTube. I don't know why this happens. Actually, there is a big old warning that says for seizure stuff. So, if you are susceptible to flashing lights, this perhaps is a game you can really look into very easily. But yeah, it's very cool. Very short trailer, but people know what this game will be, and if you like the first one, you will definitely like the sequel. Head of Xbox, no signal to slow down on studio acquisitions. Now, I'm not a fan of this sort of thing being stated, just because of the fact that I don't believe that studios need to be acquired to be able to do what they need to do. I think they need support, and you might want to have them sign on contracts and stuff like that, but it might get them more direct money per se, but they lose a lot of control, and they also risk the idea of just being liquidized, which but yeah, like with I think with this all of this, it's kind of good just because Microsoft needs more games that are first party on Xbox that actually stand out. The first first party ones that were on the previous generation were not a lot. There was very few. There was very few ones that did like a stand out as well. So, or even just timed exclusives, just something. But yeah, I am excited to see what Microsoft has for this generation. We're very close to their reveal trailer stuff. I think it's 2 weeks from now. So we'll see. We'll see what they have in stock for us. Yeah. Alright. Next up, Half-Life Alyx developers want to make a full-scale Half-Life game for consoles. So, do I have the other piece of news that went alongside this? No, I don't. Okay, so there were two things. One, the Half-Life Alyx team and Valve came out and said that there were 5 other games that went through development related to Half-Life before Half-Life Alyx came out. That means like just either tech demos or like ideas for games, just things that were in the works that just got pulled for whatever reason, and that's, yeah, it's rough. That's game development. Curious whether or not any of them would have been an actual Half-Life, like Episode 3. Like, assumably one of them was Episode 3. I think that the idea of Episode 3 is now being scrapped. But the fact that people were excited and enjoyed Half-Life Alyx Final Hours, it's seeming like they wanted to make it. They want to make a game. They want to do more, and that's that thing of like, if they've proven themselves, they probably could do it. But I mean, the Half-Life Alyx is a VR snapshot game, so I don't know how many hours it is, but like those sorts of things can only be like those sort of very fine-tuned, handcrafted experiences. Whereas a proper full-fledged game, they would need to shift focus and do it in a different development cycle. But so Valve has so much support there, you would think it would be okay. I don't know. We'll see. If you're a Half-Life fan, this maybe is good news, but I really wouldn't hold anything here because Valve just have put out so few things over the past, I don't know, 10 years or so, that it's not really worth thinking too much about until you start seeing something tangible, in my opinion. Sony invests $250 million in Epic Games. Now, that's a headline. So, I think this is a good thing. I think Epic does fantastic work. I think I would like to see Epic be more of a competitor to Valve still. I think that Epic does so much good work for developers that this is a good thing. I can't see in any way that this is a bad thing personally, but you could definitely see that their ties to Sony exclusive for Epic Games and stuff like that might be a problem. But hey, look, Sony, if Microsoft's not going to do it, Sony's doing this. At least they're supporting each other. That's what I see about all this. But yeah, pretty crazy. Big numbers, big business numbers, big businessman. Blizzard will make changing character gender-free in the next WoW expansion. So this isn't an insane piece of news, it's just a nice thing to see. Because if you've ever played WoW, WoW is microtransaction galore now with its store stuff. It's a bit frustrating to see because of just how much you pay for the base game and then how much a monthly subscription is. But I think in the case of here, this is a good thing and I'm glad they've done this. And there's really I just see no negative about this. It's just they don't need that much more money, and they don't see, and they feel like they obviously feel like this is a way for people to represent themselves. It just I think this is good. Yeah, I think it's just good. So back on the Paper Mario train. There was actually, I haven't watched this, but there was a Treehouse Live for July 10th, which I assume is American. I assume this has already come out. I haven't seen it. So if you're looking for more Paper Mario news, and more way forward stuff, go check out this Treehouse update. It says there's an update in it. Contains third party, which is probably the Treehouse stuff. Not Treehouse, the way forward stuff. A new title. Ooh. I'm gonna click on that. Yeah. So I don't know what time this is. 7:30. And I don't know if that's actually converting time for me. But yeah. Keep an eye out for that. Go have a look for the Treehouse thing. Maybe I can have a look at that tomorrow or something. Mega Man VR targeted virtual world debut trailer. So I haven't watched this, but it's a Mega Man VR game. I mean, that's a fun little idea. Japan getting in VR a bit heavier again. So what do we got? There's a Chibi Mega Man. I turn this down. It's a little loud. I don't know where the VR component is. This looks like Mega Man 6. Not Mega Man 6, Mega Man, whatever the new one is. 16? Whatever. I don't know how this is VR. It's just a cinematic. Okay. Any gameplay? Dr. Wybie. Okay. So, well, I guess we'll wait for a gameplay trailer. So, Far Cry will appear at Ubisoft Forward. So, if you didn't see, a Hong Kong PlayStation store made a listing for Far Cry 6. It had like the art, it had just a little bit of details, and so it was like, it was leaked. It was out there. This happened, and then a couple hours later, this article and these announcements came out. So yeah, new Far Cry game. If you're a Far Cry fan, and I know there is a lot of people of it, you'll be excited. It looks like either the new bad guy or something, but little teaser. So we got a little teaser, but hold tight until Ubisoft. I think that's the limit of it. So if you can read Chinese, this will be good for you. You could be reading this stuff, but yeah. Oh, there's an English version. All right, there's also an English version. So if you want to read that, yeah. So congrats, Far Cry fans, you get another game. Crysis Remastered for Switch. Now, I wasn't expecting this. I think I knew that it was coming for the other platforms, but I didn't realize that we were getting a remaster on Switch. So Crysis is always been the joke of, well, your PC is amazing, but can it run Crysis? And yeah, I mean, the fact that they still have PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC versions still be dated. This one's coming first. I think this must be the watered down one that's probably very similar to the old game, but just with remastered sort of tech. But yeah, I don't know how much I expect for a Switch one, because Crysis still has some weird stuff in terms of physics and all that stuff, where it's just high level processing. So yeah, yeah. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC will still be coming, and those are the ones I'll be excited about. I would love to see that Crysis comes back. I don't think it's the same Crytek. I think most people would either moved from Crytek or Crytek have changed gears completely. But a PC remaster, I'm kind of excited for. That might be another, well, can it run Crysis Remastered? So that'll be fun. And I think that will do it for the news today. That went a little bit longer than I expected. I think I'm a little bit slower today, but we did get through a good amount. Some fun things in there, but yeah. Well, again, there'll be a few more bigger announcement sets coming up. These are just little bits and pieces as teasers as things come up, and just letting people know some cool down stuff from the Summer of Games. So yeah, dates and things. Next year is going to be busy-ish. We still haven't. I still feel like it's going to be a weaker year next year, but we've had a lot of cool stuff. Cool. All right, I'm going to BRB, and then we can come back for some extreme assault with Monster Hunter, because it's going to be rough. I'm not going to lie. This Monster Hunter session is going to be. You're going to see possibly angry me. So, if you can sit through that, kudos to you. Anyway, thanks for watching the news. I will be back very shortly with some water.